You are very special. Yes, you. This sounds good to you because you think you are. You are different than everyone else and you're unique in this world. At some point, it might be true, but more than 8 billion people are living on this planet and we all want to feel special and valuable. But feeling these don't give us positive outcomes, which sometimes can affect the narcissistic side of us, leading us to disconnect from the entire flow and existence of the world. So what does this separation cause? For example, when you feel extremely special and valuable, even if it feels good for a while, can reach to a point of vulnerability because you feel like the whole world, people around you, and life owe you something. What I meant to say is big expectations. The logic behind this is that you are one of billions of people in this world and maybe just one of millions of species in this world. Humanity is one of billions of members of that species. There are plants, animals, and many more organisms. We live in such a crowded flow that the person who feels special at such a point is away from the world. We start to differentiate ourselves from the rest of the living in this world, thinking, I am more valuable and special. When hard times come and when we experience unpleasant events, that's when our heart gets broken deeply because of too much expectation from this world by putting ourselves in a very different position, thinking, I am different, I didn't have to go through this, I don't deserve this. Although we are one in millions and billions, just an average person. One day I was watching a documentary about a type of fish, a salmon fish if I'm not wrong. These salmon fish, both male and female, travel a very long distance just to breed. On the way of their journey, out of a huge population of the fish, 10% of them disappears, maybe killed by predators or lose their way. Another 10% of them disappear somewhere else. And the person narrating the documentary said, this is something calculated by them, but they still take the risk and move on. And to be honest, the documentary made me think about how average I am in this entire world. Just like one of those fish. Let's ask Demos, give us an example. What do you think?
Hear me out. You humans always trying to find a reason to get upset. You might be rich or poor. It doesn't matter if you live in this country or that country. When something happens to you, you exaggerate things, taking things extremely personal, saying, I shouldn't be the one suffering from this. Don't feel like you are different than the rest of the people in this world.
Sorry folks, don't mind his language. The world's population is larger than it has ever been. The total number of people alive in this world makes up around 7%, or 1 in 14, of people who have ever lived. And the sad part is, no one remembers more than 90% of them in this world. But if you believe that there's a life on the other side of the world, that's your belief. But in this world, they passed away, no one remembers them. Even at first, if it upsets you that you are not more special than another human, a plant, a bee, or any living being, which can also hurt your narcissistic side. But at some point, it gives us a feeling of connectivity with the flow of this world, being able to accept the reality. This feeling I find is very original, rare, and positive. In life, people have bad relationship with their mom, dad, brother, sister, friends, or life partner. Some are dealing with relationship issues, some are dealing with poverty, some are dealing with losing all their wealth, while some are dealing with health problems. On the other hand, putting yourself in a very special position can lead to disappointment, and you start to think that you didn't deserve all of these. But in reality, if you realize it's not just happening with you, but with all of us. And you know what? This is life, solving problems. To look for the solution is to have a problem first. You might encounter a lot more difficulties in the future. Some may talk behind your back, some may betray you. Maybe the relationship that you have right now won't work out. Anything bad could be happening to you. What important is, when you face such problems, you should be able to tell yourself that you are not responsible for all of these. It's not your fault. Just because it's happening to you, it doesn't mean that you're unlucky. You have to stop taking things personally. If a psychopath comes into your life and starts hurting you, he or she would do the same thing to me. It's not because it's you, but in reality, you are just a small, tiny detail of the big picture. The same case applies to animal worlds. For example, chimpanzees. They also face life and relationship problems in their own way, maybe a little bit similar to us. So the point is, we are somewhere in this world, just a small part of it. The day we accept that, we are also going to fade away, just like the leaves of trees in autumn. It's easy to accept that we are no different from that leaves. our narcissistic side will also fade away, and we can learn from this lesson that the world is not against us. The people are not against us. It's not us, but the flow of the world and life. When you look at the sky at night and see thousands of stars, you will realize that how small you are and how less space you are covering in this whole universe. It's hard to accept, but once you do, it will make you feel better. Everything is not meant to be special, and there is no problem being a very tiny part of it. As I told you, it's hard to accept, but once you do, you'll make it through. Think about it.